Please keep me anonymous because even till today, people in my family still do not know the complete truth. That was how the message started when it was sent to me. Honestly, as I kept reading, I could hardly believe what I was seeing. According to the woman who shared the story, her name is Temi. She said she grew up in a complicated home after her father remarried a woman named Mrs. Williams, who already had a son called Jeffrey. Since Temi's father married Jeffrey's mother, Temi and Jeffrey became step-siblings. Step-siblings are not related by blood. They only become family because their parents get married. It is different from half-siblings who share one biological parent. Temi admitted that she was very stubborn while growing up. She described herself as wild, difficult to control, and always getting into trouble. Well, despite living as brother and sister under the same roof, their relationship slowly became inappropriate. She said everything changed the night they crossed the line for the first time. According to her, it became a secret relationship that continued for months, without anybody suspecting anything. Before long, Temi realized she was pregnant. The pregnancy nearly tore the house apart. Her father was furious and demanded to know who was responsible. But Temi refused to mention Jeffrey's name. She carried the shame alone while Jeffrey stayed silent. After the baby was born, her father eventually accepted the child. The boy was raised by her stepmother because Temi soon gained admission into the same university Jeffrey attended. Being away from home only brought them closer again. She confessed that the relationship continued secretly throughout her years in school, and before she graduated, she had given birth to 2 more children for Jeffrey. Meanwhile, Mrs. Williams, Jeffrey's own mother, was caregiver for her now 3 boys. Unknown to her, the children she loved so deeply were actually her biological grandchildren. Don't get me wrong, Temi wrote in the message she sent to me, "It is not like my father and family accepted my behavior." According to her, things became worse with every pregnancy. By the time she got pregnant with the 3rd child, her father was completely exhausted and embarrassed. Relatives had already labeled her irresponsible, and neighbors constantly mocked him. She said the situation became so bad that when she gave birth to the 3rd boy, her father refused to allow her return home with the baby. Her final exams were approaching at the university, and she had nowhere else to go. That was when her stepmother, Mrs. Williams, stepped in. Temi said despite all the shame and disappointment, it was Mrs. Williams who fought for her the most. According to her, her father threatened to disown her completely unless she revealed who the father of the children was. But Temi remained silent. Out of desperation, Mrs. Williams organized an extended family meeting. Uncles, aunties, and elders gathered to intervene. Everyone begged Temi to reveal the identity of the man responsible so the family could at least approach him and salvage what was left of her reputation. But she didn't budge. To the family, Temi was a wayward young woman having children for different irresponsible men. Nobody ever imagined it was Jeffrey, her own stepbrother. Fast forward a few years later, life appeared to improve. After NYSC, Temi got a job at a bank in Lagos while Jeffrey secured a lucrative position at an oil company. He now had his own apartment, a good salary, and according to her, by all standards, Jeffrey had become one of Lagos' most eligible bachelors. She wrote about him almost like a dream man. The forbidden relationship never truly ended. According to her, they continued seeing each other privately while she still lived in her parents' house with the children. Conveniently, Mrs. Williams remained the primary caregiver for the boys while Temi focused on work. Reading that part honestly disturbed me because the woman unknowingly raised her own grandchildren. Temi admitted that during this period, she genuinely believed she and Jeffrey would eventually become a proper couple. She spent weekends at his apartment, cooked for him, cleaned for him, and practically played the role of wife already. Anytime she visited him, she simply told her parents she was spending time with her fiancé, who supposedly lived abroad. Then she got pregnant again. This time, her father nearly lost his mind. According to Temi, he could not understand how his only daughter now had 4 boys from 4 different unknown men. Out of fear, Temi came up with another lie. She arranged for a male colleague at the bank to call her father, pretending to be the man responsible for the pregnancy. The plan was simple. He would claim he walked abroad. Whether Jeffrey knew about the arrangement or not, she never made clear. What she did say was that throughout all of this, Jeffrey remained emotionally close to her. He paid child support, allowed her complete access to his apartment, shared his bed with her, and continued acting like they had a future together. It felt seamless without a wedding contract. But according to Temi, the secret they had buried for years finally began to unravel after she gave birth to her 4th son. She said from the very first day the baby arrived, people could not stop staring at him. The resemblance between the child and Jeffrey was impossible to ignore. Same eyes, Same smile, same facial structure. Even the way the baby frowned looked exactly like Jeffrey as a child. At first, I tried convincing myself I was overthinking it, she wrote. What shocked her most was Mrs. Williams' reaction. This boy looks exactly like Jeffrey when he was little. For the first time in years, fear truly entered her body. Before then, she believed their secret was safe because nobody ever imagined such a thing was possible. A year and just few months after the birth of her last son, according to Temi, she heard about Jeffrey's wedding plans casually from Mrs. Williams herself. Joffrey's introduction is this Saturday, her stepmother said one evening. At first, she thought maybe it was a surprise proposal for her. Maybe Jeffrey had finally decided to make things official after all these years. I was honestly excited for a second. But Mrs. Williams continued happily. Oh, Victoria and Jeffrey have always been close. Her mother and I were friends long before they relocated to the UK. That was when Temi realized the truth. Tomorrow is the introduction, she wrote. I have begged Jeffrey not to go through with it, but he threatened to cut ties with me if I expose him. Her final words honestly stayed with me after I finished reading. I disappointed my father. I kept having babies because I thought it would make him stay with me. After 4 boys, what exactly was I thinking? Right now, I am typing with regret, shame, and confusion. Please advise me. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Please like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And honestly, what advice would you give Temi in this situation?